Hey guys, what is up? My name is Shaun Roselt and welcome to my Lumia 640 LTE review in 2018. So yes, this is the Lumia 640 LTE and this is the Microsoft Lumia and it came out in April 2015 and it was announced in March 2015 and I've had this phone ever since it came out in April 2015. So I used this phone very actively for 2 years and then I switched to a different phone. So I know this phone quite well and I turned the phone on again a week ago to try using it again in 2018 and see how it goes. So in this video we're going to be looking at the Lumia 640 LTE and see how this phone still weighs up against 2018 phones and if you can still use this phone in 2018 and whether you should really be using this phone in 2018. So let's first start off by looking at the body of the phone. So it has a plastic cover which feels very cheap and the cover is removable, but it's a very bad cover. As you can see, it breaks easily. As you can see by the cracks in the cover. Yeah, so it's very easily breakable cover. Okay, so it has a headphone jack. It has an up and down volume button, a power button, and a micro USB charging port. Although it charges very slow actually. It has 8 GB inboard storage internal, and it has an upgradable SD card up to 256 GB. It rocks a 5-inch display, and it has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 processor in it, which is an okay processor, but it's very bad actually. Although it runs fine on this operating system and this phone, it has a gigabyte of RAM, but the RAM is very bad for this operating system. A gigabyte of RAM is not enough. Most apps just close down because of a lack of RAM, and apps in background also closes down. Then it has 2500 milliamp battery, which is a great battery for this phone. It lasts the whole day depending on what you use it for. So this phone came out with Windows 8.1, but it's upgradable to the latest Windows 10 Insider build, even for Windows 10. So I have the latest installed right now, and it runs really great for the latest one. Let's look at the apps on the phones. Most apps on the phone works very well, but a lot of major apps closes down because of lack of RAM. For instance, WhatsApp works fine, but for 3 days I struggled to get it to work because it was just loading for 3 days. Let's go to the Windows Store, Microsoft Store. As you can see, the Microsoft Store has plenty of apps available for most people, but most of these apps don't really get updated very often, or they just simply don't work well on this phone. So what you can do is simply use the web browser, which is what I do. I use the web browser for most of these apps, and there's also plenty of games available on this phone, but some games run very slow. Actually, most major games run very slow on this phone, simply due to lack of RAM. As you can see, even this Microsoft Store loads a bit long. It doesn't really load very fast, which is of course also due to my slow Wi-Fi, but mostly it loads slow in general. So yeah. It's another question: should you be using a Lumia 640 in 2018? Well, that depends on what kind of user you are. If you are a simple person that wants to simply browse the web and WhatsApp maybe, then yeah, sure, get this phone for you because it's a very cheap phone and can do the basic things that every person really wants to do with a phone. Otherwise, don't get this phone. Rather get Lumia 950 if you still want a Windows phone, or get the HP Elite X3. Otherwise, go for Android or iPhone. You'll be much better off getting an Android phone or an iOS phone. If you really want a Windows phone, then I suggest to wait for the next major Windows phone, such as the Rumor Surface phone or the Andromeda project. And yeah, basically it's so. Get this phone if you want a cheap phone, maybe for like an old person, or maybe like for a child, for a child's first phone. Then this phone is fine. So yes guys, that's basically it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.